Hey guys, welcome to the God Is podcast hosted by the Wesley Foundation. I am the director. My name is Zach, and I hope that you enjoy this student-led conversation about the miraculous God that we worship. As we go through this podcast, we'll explore different theological terms, different things going on in the world, and just to dive deeper into a relationship with God so we can share God with those around us. So I hope you enjoy this podcast.
Hey everybody, I'm Jared. I'm in the Wesley Foundation, and this is the God Is podcast.
Hey y'all, my name's Lindy Montz.
What's up? I'm Weston Johnson.
I'm Lyra Winders.
And so basically our topic for today that we just want to talk about is the sophomores, because we're all sophomores, and we just want to talk about our experience at Wesley. So who wants to go first? Anybody particularly want to go first? Okay.
So I definitely was not involved my freshman year. I had night classes and I just wasn't really, the whole Wesley Foundation just wasn't really there for it. But I definitely fell in love as soon as I came back in August. I loved every second of it. I'm a part of the praise band here. I've definitely found a family here. I think we all pretty much have. And yeah, I really don't know where I'd be without these people. And it's pretty cliche to say, but we all hang out all throughout the week. We go get loaded teas, coffee, all that kind of good stuff. But it's really fun, and it's really going to be hard leaving these people.
I'll piggyback off what she said. It's kind of my safe haven, really. Like, it's a place I can come to when it's so busy throughout the week and you just need to relax. We got couches. And so it's just a time where you can really just focus on yourself. I mean, the conference room. Come in, watch Netflix, crochet, anything. I mean, like, right. It's just a home feel. Like when you come here, you're always welcome. You're always going to be introduced. You feel the love when you walk in. And that's what really, truly matters. It definitely will be missed for sure.
You got anything to say, Weston?
I definitely appreciate this place. Even being somebody that doesn't go to this specific campus, I definitely find myself, freshman year, I was a lot like Lindy. I knew it existed and I came like 4 times and I was like trying to question why I didn't have any friends. And then my mom was like, it's because you don't do anything. And I was like, okay. And so I really made it a point to like actually start coming. And like, I've met a lot of wonderful people. And, now I kind of am mad at myself that I didn't come here every week for the past like 7 years.
Well, for me especially, it's just I came last year, but I was like, I remember it was about a little bit into the semester. One of my friends, Emma, invited me. She was like, "Hey, you should come to this." I'm like, "Why? Like, why would I go to that?" Like, but she was like, "It's okay, just give it a chance." I'm like, "Okay." I walk in about 7:50. It's like in the middle of Zach's sermon. I'm like. I just like pick up my saxophone and I go to the back as fast as possible. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. And so I sit there and then I had somebody come up to me afterwards. It was like, hey, I heard you play the bass guitar. I'm like, I mean, kind of. And they're like, hey, we're looking for a bass guitar player for the band. I was like, what band? I was like, I didn't know they had a band here. And I was like, y'all have a band? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'd be interested in that. So they got me in contact with people. And then next week, I know I was up there, just playing a guitar. And I'm like, oh, like I had no experience with anything. I was like, I barely knew how to play the instrument. I was like, this is some note. It's some kind of note, but, and I was just throughout that, like it just throughout that year, it just helped a lot. And then I remember it was towards the end of the semester. Every single person on that band was a sophomore. Except for me and my one friend. So we're like, what do we do? And so, and our director, he was like, hey, we're needing a worship leader. And we were like, I don't know who we want to do. And I was like, hey, I can do it. And I was like, I don't have any experience with anything, but I can do it.
Sorry guys, there is something going on behind the camera.
Yeah, you can tell it. No, it's Taylor trying to wrangle the flags. It was so funny. to me.
So whenever we talk about we're literally a family and there's so much organized chaos and random chaos going on, we sincerely mean that.
It's a whole sitcom around here.
It really is.
It is. It might as well be. And it's just throughout all that, I would say I want to make a family pretty much. Like, and I'm here every day. Like, there's not a day you don't see me here. And more loud noises. More loud noises. Okay. Hey, we're gonna go with it. But it's just every day. It's just, I'm really grateful for everything.
Okay. So that was an interesting little moment, but that's what happens around here. Like, I know for me, I don't know about for y'all, probably, but if we're having literally the worst day, we can come in here and something like that can happen, and everything just turns around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Taylor.
We're going to ask y'all a few questions.
Okay.
What?
This is no
Question time. Question time.
A few questions, and y'all have to give us your consent.
Okay.
Sure?
Ask me a few
You
questions.
sure?
So you want total honesty.
Total
You want me to be
Okay.
Complete transparent.
You know what you're asking
Got it.
for, right?
Got it. Let's hear the question.
First, we're going to start off with
Oh, we're doing questions like that. Oh,
Yeah, pull the mic up.
This
Yeah,
thing.
there you go.
Yes, all right.
out of all three of these guys right here, which one would you consider your best friend?
Are you trying to like break us apart?
Oh, it's just
Breaking up like me?
Okay, I will go with my gut. No, not my gut, my heart. Just because I knew this person first before even coming to this college, but the chick at the table, Lindy. No offense to all the other dudes. Anyway, sorry, don't hate me.
Lindy.
okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Out of these two guys right here at this table, which one would you say is the smartest?
Okay. Are we talking about like common sense wise or book smart? Okay, I love you both so much. I hope you know that. Okay, Weston just creates organized chaos. You know that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But Jared, he can like learn a topic in like 5 minutes, take a test on it, and make 100. So probably gonna say Jared.
Got him.
Why did I agree to do this podcast? I've been nothing but attacked since we started the questions.
I love you, Weston.
Y'all don't want it. Y'all
Who's the
don't
next
ask me
victim? It's
anything
gonna be
right now.
Weston.
You don't want.
Weston, you're the victim, Weston.
Jared went over his first impression of the Wesley.
Okay.
What was your first impression?
My first impression of the Wesley was a Halloween night, and I was wearing black skinny jeans. So memorable, is how I would express it. I also had on a fitted leather jacket. It was not the night. So I was Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
I
Yeah.
really thought he was gonna say Danny from Greece.
I've
I
never.
was like, that doesn't make sense.
This is gonna get me slapped. I've never seen Grease.
Honestly, that doesn't surprise me.
I haven't
Y'all,
either.
he's never seen Frozen.
So he's uncool. You're uncool.
So
Uncultured.
my first impression was, y'all want blunt, honest first impressions?
Within reason.
My first honest, first memory I can remember of the Wesley was y'all doing the I think it's the wobble. What's the one that has
Oh,
John Cena in it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I was like, what cult is this?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just sitting here, I don't know what the Wesley is. I knew it was I thought I was going to a Bible study, and all these people in costumes are doing synchronized dancing, and I was like, Mom, come get me. So that was my first impression of the Wesley.
It's not a cult.
That's what they want you to say. But we need to put on the bottom of the screen. This is not a cult. It's flashing. We're not a cult.
So, this is a question for Lara and Lindy.
Poor Jared. That's
I'm not complaining.
Out of both of y'all. No, okay, this is a question for y'all. This is a question for you two, but it's about him. Which
You say you pointed to all of us.
I don't know who you pointed to.
I'm like,
Which one out of y'all?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Which girl would you say is the best dancer? And will it be Lindy or Lyra?
I've never seen Lyra dance that I can think of, and I've seen Lindy dance, so I'm gonna go with Lyra.
Oh,
So this is a lose-lose question.
Yeah.
I'm getting attacked over here.
Well, this is a lose-lose question
Bro,
for
I'm
us
sitting in the
guys.
middle. How do you think I
Like,
feel?
Yeah, you're gonna.
You got a chance
You're
to
gonna die.
run.
I can run, but you're just dead. But basically, it's a lose-lose situation because I've seen both of them in Center Stage, which is one of our performing groups in ICC. And I don't. If I had to choose, I would choose Lindy just because I've known her longer. Like,
But no, because he went in with a
I
sympathy
cannot
vote.
tell from Center Stage who's the better dancer. Like, and I've never seen y'all dance outside of Center Stage, so I'm not biased towards anybody. I've known
that.
Lindy longer.
Mine was
Problem.
aggressive.
That is the safe answer, so I don't die.
Yeah.
So,
She did this to me.
I did not do that. And it is for all y'all.
All right.
What made you want to come to God?
What made us want to? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I immediately thought.
Got it, Wesley.
Y'all ready? Desperation. Weston did what Weston does, which is make a situation 10 times more difficult than it's supposed to be. And so like I grew up in the church, and y'all stop me if I start preaching, but I grew up in the church. Okay, I'm pretty sure my first words were John 3:16. So like growing up in the church, I was very like desensitized to Jesus because I had been told about him my whole life. You know, my mom was Pentecostal, so I was prayed over before I was born. So it was very like difficult for me to come to Jesus like genuinely with my heart because I had more head knowledge than most pastors did. Like that was kind of so I very much struggled to come to Jesus. And so I was at a camp, and I was like, to me, I was saved, and to me, I did everything right. But I finally just like had enough of like dealing with myself. And so I went in the woods and I just started screaming at trees. And to some extent, all of that screaming eventually became like a prayer that like had me in tears. And it was like at that moment, I genuinely felt like I talked to God. And from that moment, I've made it a point to follow him.
Oh. My story is kind of the same as Weston. I mean, my dad's a pastor, and so I grew up all around the church, and I mean, my parents were youth pastors, all that kind of good stuff. So I got double it all the time. But I mean, I knew who Jesus was, and like I could, like Weston said, I could quote any Bible verse he wanted me to, and I thought I was saved from, gosh, probably 8th grade, and I was like, yeah, this is great, this is cool. And then I hit high school, and I mean, high school does to people what high school does to people, and it put in perspective a lot of choices that was made around me and that I had made were not godly choices at all. And so my senior year kind of wrecked me. I went to a different church, just because like there was a better youth group there, and we went to a camp, and I had never felt like a call on my life. And so when we went, we were all talking, and someone looked at me and they were like, have you ever prayed about being a youth pastor? And I was like, no, absolutely not. That ain't my thing. Like, I'm not equipped for that. I ain't called to that. You crazy. Because at that time, I probably couldn't tell you the last time I had opened my Bible and done a Bible study at all. And so it had been on my mind for a little while, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I pushed that aside until like the last day of camp. You know, like the last day of camp always gets you anyway. But I found myself on my knees, bawling my eyes out, basically just talking to God and saying, like, I know that you have something planned, and I know something's in the works. I have no idea what it is. And then that's when I was like, God, like, I truly want to follow you. And then I got here and got surrounded by these great people that really poured into me and pushed me to figure out that call. So, I mean, that's kind of where everything took off for me.
I think for me, literally both of them. I'm pastor's kid, you know, the one that's always seen in the church is supposed to be like the, oh my God, holy one, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, like, yeah, it's just expectations of people think you know, who you should be, you know, what you should look like, how you should act. But, you know, I did, you know, I did those things. I acted like a pastor's child. I looked like a pastor's child. But you really don't feel that. And, you know, I like remember breaking down to my dad one night and just being like, I just want what these other people have. Like, what I see in them is so much different than what I see in myself. And I want that for myself. And I remember the date, March 17th, 2016 is the day that I was like, you know what? I want that and I'm getting that. And so it made me see the roses and the grass greener, and it's just incredible. And I mean, there's no other way I can explain it. It's just a different life that I want to choose forever. And yeah, I mess up. Everybody messes up. We're human. But I just think of that day, you know, March 17th. That's my day. That's engraved on my heart. Literally, that's the day that my name was written in the, you know, book of life. And I love that. And so, you know, I hope that for everybody else who's watching, that you have a date written on your heart. And so, yeah, that's kind of it.
Well, I guess I'm going last, but so basically, like, you know, I grew up in a Christian household. You know, my family, you know, both my parents were Christians. They're like, hey, we're going to church. You don't have a choice. I'm like, cool. I was like, okay, I'll go. And, you know, just I grew up. That's how I grew up. Like, I went to church, and it was about I was about 7 or so, and I was doing stuff like popping my fingers or throwing my arm or just doing like that or something. My mom was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, huh. So she just starts doing research and finds something it's called Tourette syndrome. You've probably heard of it. A lot of people have heard of it, but basically I had a tic, which that's what Tourette's is. It's little like tics, like neurological stuff. So it's stuff I cannot control. So like I could throw my arm and I wouldn't even know it half the time because I'm like, oh, I did that. Like I wouldn't know. But I had this tic of like, it was kind of head banging. I was like doing like that. And basically that caused a blood clot in the back of my neck about 8th grade. It was 8th grade. And it caused me to have multiple strokes. And when I was in the hospital, like they had told my mom that my chances of survival was like next to none. Like, and so that was really like, cause you know, like before then, like I was like a Christian, like, you know, like I went to church, I read my Bible, but I was just like, oh yeah, cool. I'm not gonna live for God. I'm gonna say I'm a Christian, but I'm not. And then that really hit me, like when I was in the hospital, laying in that bed, when I could not move, I was like, what is going on? I'm like, what if I die? Like, and I just thought, I was like, what if I die here? Like, will I go to heaven or will I go to hell? And that was just one of the big things is like, God's just like, hey, you need to get it right with me. And that's just where it all changed. Like, and just, and yes, we're all human. I've had struggles since then. I've had struggles before then. We're going to keep having struggles. We're all human. But the thing is, with God, we can work through it and we can get better.
I know one thing, like, sorry. Like Jared was saying, we have struggles now, even as Christians, if not more struggles now that we're Christians.
For sure.
Because I heard a pastor say this one time, and it's like stuck with me forever, but it's the closer you get to God, the harder Satan's going to hit you. And honestly, that is so true. Because I can, like, there's so many times now where I will be in the midst of what feels like the pits of everything. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? And I remember that. I'm like, okay, this is a good thing because I'm close. Like, I'm growing my relationship with God enough that Satan is like, okay, I have to hit her 10 times harder.
Right.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
I was crying when you told the story because it just really got my heart. But I guess the question I want to ask y'all is, what's next for y'all? You know, what is next on your own?
Well, for me specifically, my next on my journey will be I'll be heading to Mississippi College down in Clinton, and God's leading me there, and I hope to spread the word even more because it's a Christian college. So I'm hoping I'm getting involved with everything I can, and I'm putting myself in, and I'm living for Him. Right now, my major will be music education and worship leadership, which worship leadership is more of like a worship leader in a church or like an event, like a church event or something like that.
Okay, so we're going down the line. Okay. I will be moving away from everybody. It's kind of sad. I'll be going to the University of West Alabama down in Livingston. My major is like health professions, but I'll take a track in athletic training and get my master's.
I'm going to Ole Miss. Right now, my major is communications. I don't really know what that means, but they told me it was the easiest bachelor's degree, so I was like, sign me up. That's the true story. But I'm going down to Ole Miss or up to Ole Miss. I don't know what direction I'm going over yonder to the university, and I'm gonna get a degree in integrated marketing communications. IMC represent.
A lot of words.
Well, they were here just a couple weeks ago, and they were like, write down your major on this little blank. And I looked at her and I was like, my major's not fitting in that blank.
I will also be going to Ole Miss.
Howdy toddy, gosh almighty.
All right. Anyway,
Words are just gonna be me.
Howdy toddy, gosh almighty. Anyway, I will be going to Ole Miss.
How did we all just... Who dares into...
I'll get through this eventually. Okay. Third time's a charm. I'll be going to Ole Miss. I'm an elementary education major, and I want to, in the most legal way possible, share the word of God to children who are, rising up in this upcoming generation, because Lord knows they need it. And so, why not? It may be the most worst paid job in the world, but you know what? It's a passion. It's what God has sent me here to do, and I'm going to do it with all my heart.
For such a time as this.
Mm-hmm.
So, any advice you guys would give to the coming freshmen and then uprising sophomores that are still going to be involved in the Wesley?
Everybody says this, get involved as fast as possible. Even if you don't want to like hang out with people, it's just beneficial for when you miss classes and need homework. Like even if you want to do a pure business relationship, get friends as fast as you can when you get to college. Like, so here's an unethical life hack with Weston. If they hand us out like fill in the blank like note things, I will purposely leave some of mine blank so I can go around to the people in class and be like, hey, did you get this one? Like that's how you start a friendship in college with no social skills. So there you go.
And definitely going off what he said and get involved with something. It doesn't. I don't care what it is. Get involved with something because, as Wesley said, friends make life and college way easier. Because I've got friends that they just sit in their dorm all day and they don't do anything, and they're not having a good time. And I'm like, hey, you should come do stuff. You should get involved with stuff. And they have, and they've had so much more fun. They've made so many friends, and I'm glad. And it's just you've just got to get involved.
My advice would be don't be afraid of yourself.
That goes deep. We're gonna be here a minute.
Sorry guys. But I know for me is I was really afraid of like not being who I was in high school and like not having the title of cheerleader, not having the title of this or that, whatever, that I kind of shut myself off from everybody, and I was like afraid to be vulnerable, and I was afraid to like go out and do stuff and actually make friends. But don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of who God's called you to be.
Right. And it's a lot harder said than done because I've grown up with fear my entire life, and so that's my whole testimony. Just fearless, be fearless. And it's so hard to do that. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to step out of your comfort zone and just do something, but you have to literally just conquer it. If it's just going out to the park, let me walk through here so maybe I can talk to somebody. Or why don't I just step foot in Wesley or BSU or any place? Just just conquer your fears. And I would have to say for the upcoming sophomores, don't waste your time because
Literally.
it's getting very, very short. And
We have
it's
38 days left.
yeah, it's hard to say that. And I know it's not going to hit me until like the last week of school, and I'm going to be like, I could have done all these things. But literally, just enjoy every moment that you have, because they're going to be gone so soon. But yeah,
Like you were saying, be fearless. I always tell y'all, I'm like, man, I can't wait to go skydiving. I can't wait to go swim with sharks. Like, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's so hard to be fearless. But I think I told you this, Weston. It's not about actually doing the thing you're scared of. It's about getting to that standpoint. Like if you want to ride a roller coaster, the hard part's not riding the roller coaster. The hard part's waiting in the line for the roller coaster.
amen.
We have the leader here. We're gonna ask y'all maybe a few questions because y'all be ready to leave. Y'all is his baby. So
I wish I could see his face right now. He's like, y'all are really bringing me into this podcast right now.
But we love Zach.
I was literally trying to leave.
Holding his keys.
But we love Zach.
But he loves us enough that he'll give us questions because that's just the kind of guy he is.
Okay.
Do we truly understand your time and what it really is to be a community of believers?
Yeah. For me, yes, because like I said earlier in my testimony, it wasn't until I got really here that I grew in my faith. Because, I mean, I have people text me every day, have you read your Bible today? Have you spent time with God today? And honestly, I don't know where I would be. That sounds so cliche and so whatever. But, I mean, I truthfully don't know what I would do if I didn't have people texting me and, like, encouraging me constantly with that kind of stuff.
And I think it, like, a big part is when you, like, have a worship night at the Crane, for example, and you have these, like, worldly things in your head going, like, oh my God, then no one's going to show up, or, oh my gosh, what if I mess up the notes while we're in worship? But you have all these people that come from everywhere. Like, there's people there, I didn't even know their names, and it's just incredible to see how people, over here and people over here can just get under a pavilion for 2 hours and just worship one God. And that really shows how much people care, and it shows your true community within Christianity, because it's just incredible to see that overall. Yeah.
Y'all want to rock, paper, scissors?
I mean, y'all pretty much like answered it, but it's just definitely just getting involved was just that's the way to go. Like it's just I've grown so much in my faith. Like I said, I've grown my faith too from just being here as our cameraman is dying from coughing. But it's just
Hey, if you die, it's going to be very inconvenient for the editing process. So if you could.
Yeah, because that's the only reason why you're here.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all don't know, the guy who's kind of put this whole thing together is Talon.
Let's go, Taylor.
We love Talon.
Hey, Tay.
He's the man that's kind of organized this whole thing, but he doesn't get enough credit for sure.
Shout out.
I think you'll see him next week.
And Cody, we love
You
Cody.
can go find him at his address, which is.
You thought
Y'all could have seen Cody's face just then.
Cody's like what?
Ha ha ha, JK.
555.
Well, pretty much I think that's about voice crack. I think that's about I think that's about time for us. That's about all the time we have today. And so any last regards or anything? If not,
It's been fun.
it has been fun.
It's been real.
It has been. Now we'll see
But
y'all.
it hasn't been
next
real
week.
fun.
You're supposed to. It has been real fun.
I know what I said.
Bye.
I know what I said.
We hope you enjoyed that video. There's plenty more. Like, subscribe, follow, and just be a part of us.
Bye.